Driving downtown, foot pushed on the pedal, moved to... Welcome to French Blonde Travels. I'm Renee. I'm in New England and I'm camping with friends this week, but I've been in a couple of different places and I'll show you what I've been up to. This was my outdoor setup at the Lulu's Way June 2025 New Hampshire meetup. It just felt cozy. Brought back the ceiling fan. Yeah, the fans are still around. I had these lanterns. I love the light. They're USB solar lanterns. And then another addition that I have are the new lights. My granddaughter put lights up in my van, and they're just the twinkle lights, and I love them. Love them. These lovely ladies that came to the meetup are the representatives of the septuagenarians. They are all over age 70, and look at that energy. Gotta love it. This was the last night of our meetup where we had our pajama dance party. It was a lot of fun. We were winding down at this point. The music was a little bit slower, but rest assured, a good time was had by all. This beautiful beach is called Seabrook Beach, but we were not able to stay. It's kind of a private beach for the people that live there, so we left and found a park. And this is the park that we found, and it wasn't as nice, but it was peaceful. I went to Kittery Point, Maine, and this is Fort McCrary. It's a state historic site, and it is lovely. It's an incomplete fort, and you can tell by all the slabs that are laying about. It was decided that future construction of this in the plans that they had were obsolete, so they stopped construction altogether. Shipbuilder William Pepperell erected crude defenses on this site in the late 17th century when he acquired the land. In 1715, the province of Massachusetts Bay elected to erect defense works containing 6 guns for the defense of the Piscataqua River. Some sources state that it was intended to protect the citizens from unreasonable duties or taxes that were attempted to be imposed by the then mayor of New Hampshire. And I find it interesting that this part of Maine used to be part of Massachusetts back then. This fortification was transferred to the U.S. government in 1803 and was then called Fort William, but none of its features have known to survive. The building is gone, but all that's left are the foundation rocks. And I wonder how many people stayed in this barracks. It looks really small. The Pepperells were British loyalists, and so their property was confiscated by local patriot forces in 1775, including the fort. In 1776, ammunition was provided for the fort's two cannons, a 9-pounder and a 12-pounder, and it was manned by the New Hampshire militia until 1779. Tiny house. This blockhouse now serves as a museum for the site. Fort McCreary was established in 1808 and was named after New Hampshire native Major Andrew McCreary, who was killed in 1775 in the Battle of Bunker Hill. This blockhouse was built in 1844 and was the last blockhouse built at a fort in Maine, and likely one of the last built in the U.S. It's active use here during the American Civil War, and that's where it received most of its current structure, albeit incomplete. Near the start of the Civil War, the fort was manned by the Maine Coast Guard and the Kittery Artillery Company, and in 1864 was manned by the Maine State Guard. Vice President Hannibal Hamlin, who served as President Abraham Lincoln's vice president during his first term, enlisted in the Maine State Guard in Company A as a private and served as a cook at the fort. He was a resident of Kittery Point. This is very steep. Not only were these stairs steep, but each step was very small. So I'm wondering how small the feet were of these soldiers that were living here. This is where the rifleman's house stood. And as you can see, it has a wonderful view, or it did have a wonderful view out into the bay. These are slabs of granite that they were going to use to fortify the fort. But the designs became obsolete, so the slabs were left right where they laid them. I don't know if you can see, but these slabs are humongous. And there's more slabs behind me. Once they discovered their plans to rebuild became obsolete, I wonder why they didn't just redesign a plan that was not obsolete. This hotel used to be visible from this point. It was over there. You see, it's not there anymore. Notches in the stone. Like maybe they had a cannon here. And that's what held the feet, maybe. These slabs have grooves in them. Imagine how long it took to carve these grooves. Wow. And these notches, I wonder what those were for. There's a notch. I think they were designed for stabilizing some sort of weaponry. Some more of these slabs with grooves in them. This looks like it might have been used for drainage. Perhaps. Somebody had a fire here. This was just an interesting find as I drove around Maine looking for something to see, and I stumbled on this fort. It's good to know the history of our country sometimes. So on another day, I found this beach. This is Short Sands Beach in Maine, where I discovered I didn't have a suit, only I didn't realize it was in my cargo box. I didn't stay too long, but it was nice. So I know I've been away for a little while. There just was no traveling for the French Blonde, so there was really nothing to video. But I've spent a little bit of time in New Hampshire, a little bit of time in Maine, and now I'm in Massachusetts. And I'll be here for a little bit, but I'll show you a little bit of what I've been seeing since I've been out here. And we're at a campground now, and I will go around and look at the campground and see what we can see. I'm here with the glamping queen herself. I'm with Dion from Dion's Glamping Journey. Try to say it the way that she says it. And she's got her screen tent going on. We got the canopy up. And we are going to be joined by Electric Ellen, the power lady. She's not here yet, but she will be here soon. So stick around and I'll show you a little bit about what we're up to. The first night here, the fog kept rolling in and out, and it was so weird to see it. It was interesting. And maybe just a little bit spooky. There's a little beach here at Winter Island. They call their beach Waikiki Beach, and it's tiny. probably not like the real Waikiki Beach at all, I'm sure. I hope one day to go to the real Waikiki Beach. It's on my bucket list. They have a nice little pavilion with some picnic tables here. And this one is open. They do have some tent camping. Big open fields. I think the ice cream man comes every day. He was here yesterday. And then up here, more seating. More RVs over there. Playground for the kids. This area is for tent camping. There are picnic tables here. And I would imagine you bring your own grill. This may be boat storage here. There's more water beyond there, but I don't think I'll walk up close. A lot of brush. Here's an old building. Wow. This campground used to be a fort. It was called Fort Pickering. It's very old. Construction of the fort began in 1643, and it was a military installation into the 20th century. The fort served as a fortification from the Anglo-Dutch Wars from 1652 to 1784 through World War II, 1939 to 1945. The sign says this is a dead end. And it kind of is. This might be a nice place to come watch the sunset. City of Salem Harbor Master in this little building. Well, now it says dead end, but I don't think it's a dead end for vehicles, but not necessarily if you're on foot. because this looks like it walks back down to where we're parked. So cool to watch the boats on the water. Nice big field. There's some people playing with their dog over there. A grill with a picnic table that overlooks the water, so you could have a nice little picnic here. Quite a few picnic tables. And that's the beach area that overlooks where we're camped. You can see Snoopy over there. And that's Miss Dion's setup. She's doing her glamping thing. I think she might be taking a shower. And here it looks like what must be boat rentals. I've been seeing people come in getting boats all day and going out on the water. Look at that big sailboat. But this one is here at the campground, and it's a sandy beach, and it looks pretty enjoyable. If you dip your toes in the water, the kids are swimming, so you know, it satisfies everyone. If I were a kid, I'd love it. So yeah, we're just hanging out at the site, and we're still waiting for the power lady to show up. Ellen's been traveling, so she just got into town, I want to say probably very early this morning, and so I just received a message from her. She's trying to get herself together and get here. Right now it's about to be rush hour, so and she says with rush hour it would take her an hour and a half to get here, so she's going to wait for rush hour to end, and then she'll be here and spend the rest of the week with us. So I can't wait to see her. But for now, it's very, very peaceful. It wasn't so peaceful yesterday. We are parked next to the function hall, and there was a function here yesterday, so it was a little bit chaotic. Some sort of a party going on, and people were coming out of the function hall and walking across our campsite. I had to say something to a bunch of kids that came through, and then there were some other people that came through, and I stopped them and asked them to go around because, you know, we paid for this. We didn't pay for people to come walking all through our site or anything, so it's just good camping etiquette not to walk through somebody's campsite. But they were not camping. They probably were not campers. They didn't even realize that this was, you know, for RVs and vehicles to park to camp. So they had a few snarky remarks to make, but all was good in the end. The party ended and everything was good. After that, it was a very peaceful night, so I slept well, and it wasn't too hot. And today the temperature's pleasant. It's probably around 70, but the sun is shining. If you're in the direct sunlight, it will feel a little bit warm, but there's a good breeze coming in off the water, and so we're not melting. It's like those temperatures from last week that were just absolutely crazy hot. So there's that boat that looks like a pirate ship. It doesn't have its sails up right now, but it did earlier when it came through. And like I said, there's a nice breeze, so it probably doesn't even need the sails. Here comes Ellen now, driving that big giant monster. Look at the size of that thing, and she's so tiny in there. Wow. I am just dumbfounded. Three slides on this bad boy. This was early 4th of July celebrations. Doesn't really show well from inside the van, though. We took a ride into town just to get some supplies and to just see the sights along the drive. We never got out, so look at that. It will be nice to go back and actually go see some of these sites. It's a cute little town.
So England, the trolley tore all of us because Harry's never been on it. And it was really interesting. I went with those friends who came to stay with me, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I learned a lot, even though I'd been to the museums and all of that.
Yeah.
It was different.
that's what my sister did when I went to visit her in Sausalito.
Oh, maybe this is where the fireworks are going to be from?
Oh, maybe.
They're having a concert.
Yep. It's that one. So she...
It's the 4th of July, and we're going to watch some fireworks over Salem Harbor. The harbor's so pretty at night with all the lights reflecting on the water. After our fireworks show ended, there were other fireworks going on in various towns around the harbor, so we got to watch those too. And I don't know, we must have spent an hour or so watching all these other fireworks going on. Me and my camping buddies, Ellen and Dion. I enjoyed myself on this trip. I'm taking one final look at the bay before I leave. I meant to get up and catch the sunrise, but again, not a morning person. So that wraps up my New England adventure for now. I will be back in New England in August, so I will show you what I'm looking at then. I'll be camping with friends, and we're gonna have an adventure, so I'll see you then. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye.